Alrighty, and crazy weekend. Like I said, man, it was a crazy
It
weekend. It
it really
was
was.
full of excitement and everything. And we got to get into it. Come on
We
now,
gotta get into it, man.
you
I mean,
know
it's a
we got
good
to get into
weekend.
it,
Barbecue, football is back.
man. Football is back. In case y'all don't know, football is back,
Football.
and
We get to get football into February, man. I
it's
love this time
beautiful.
of year.
It's beautiful time. It's beautiful time. I am a college first over NFL,
Yeah.
but I cannot deny my Cowboys would be making me mad. But I do like the NFL as well.
I mean, but that's what we're
Um,
here for the conversation. Bros with mics. We got mics with
hey,
bros. We got to talk
oh,
about it, man.
you know what it is. You know it is. And let's kick it off with USC here, 56-28 against San Jose State.
Yeah.
That was the Thursday that they played against San Jose State. It was kind of a lot of people was kind of wondering about that. And time out.
It's Saturday, August 26th.
No, they played San Jose State the first time.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they did play San Jose.
The
So why is
first
that up?
time.
And that's what I love to see. So we got to start off with a little bit of a holiday on Thursday with Florida and Utah. I thought Florida was going to go out there. I made a mistake, y'all. Okay, I admit it. I made a mistake. I thought Florida was going to make something shake. Florida is the same Florida from last year. We're just seeing a rinse and repeat of it. Graham Mertz is a very middle of the road quarterback, but guess what? That's where I thought he was going to be. He's very middle of the road. They had the opportunity, they just couldn't capitalize. Their offense looked very unprepared for this game, right? They look like they didn't practice for it like they thought they should have. There's a lot of procedural penalties that just kind of upsets me at this point in the stage of the game. Like, why are we still doing this? Like, you're Division I athletes. You shouldn't be constantly getting, especially the guy who's doing the lineman. He came from Alabama. He's a transfer in, and constantly you're getting these false starts. I understand it's loud down there in the end zone, but you got to have some fortitude right there. Not let that happen. 24-11. That's what the final score ended up being. I felt it was a little bit of a bigger gap than that it should have been. Utah's backup quarterback is a stud, both of them.
For sure.
He definitely came in to make something shake.
I will say this real quick. Florida don't look like they're back. I mean, that's just a simple way to put it. Florida was struggling on offense. I feel like, and we'll get into it more, but I feel like a lot of teams are still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. But here I got UT Martin in Georgia. And
that game,
I want to say that's also one of the teams that's figuring or not figuring out their quarterback situation. But I guess we got to see more from Carson Beck to kind of judge, what type of talent he is. I feel as the game was kind of weird in the first half. I will say that.
I mean, you're up 17 against UT Martin at halftime.
Yeah,
that's disappointing.
Yeah, for the two-time back-to-back national champs, it's kind of like, a lot of teams have kind of switched their QB position around, and I think that we just got to wait and see. We need a little more files on these guys.
Yeah, it's got to marinate a little bit.
48-7. I can't really complain. They did what they were supposed to do.
It wasn't a pretty game. It was ugly to me, to be honest with you. You won the way you should have, but it could have been a lot more than that.
The defense looks like they'll be the staple of that that program once again.
Yep.
Which is not wrong with that. I mean, that's how Bama got it done. That's how Georgia has gotten it done.
I mean, Brock Bowers looks good though. We cannot pass out on that man. Is a man amongst boys out there.
He does.
He's somebody to watch out for and be worried about throughout the year.
So next I have here Michigan, East Carolina. No Jim Harbaugh in this game.
Yep, they came out with the 4 up, straight
with
in the
the
line.
4 up.
Let him know that the coach. I thought, hold on, is this a rest in peace type moment? What are we playing? The line leader right now? I'm first. No, I'm first. I get to go to the front of the line. No, it's just because Jim Harbaugh is going. There's getting a little moment of silence to their coach. Which
right.
You understand the reason why he's gone though. The way they kind of break it down to you. Have some of those violations right during the COVID time. We're not allowed like a dead period. You're not allowed to talk to some players.
To pursue.
So I think he paid for food and then lied about it. Which you should never do, man. Just use your integrity. Tell the truth. He wouldn't be out for 4 games. Point blank period. Yeah. So,
and I think they'll be. I think he's out for 3 games, and they'll be fine without him. Really, they play nobody. I don't want to say nobody. I don't want to discredit any program, but at
Yeah,
the same time, it's the games that they should win easily.
exactly. Yeah, and they
But
got it in
yeah,
the bag. I mean, JJ McCarthy looked great. Corum looked great. They're going to be all right.
I will say this real quick. Michigan kind of reminds me a little bit of Georgia right now.
Mhm.
Where JJ McCarthy is not. He was there last year and everything, but it kind of feels like a defense driven program as
Yeah,
well. Um, but more to see. So next, I have Ohio State, Indiana.
they won.
Michigan's just rival.
Yep,
Uh,
they won.
I'll
It could have been a lot better, but they
yeah,
won.
I'll start off by saying Kyle McCord. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it. And you got um, Marvin Harrison and I think it was Mayan Williams. They
Mm-hmm.
combined for like 63 yards. That's not something you want to see.
No,
I
definitely
think
not. They got questions about at the QB position also. After losing
they
a
do have
star,
questions. Their offense
you gotta.
is not looking good to start out with. And like we said before, it is week one, but at the same time, it's kind of like who was better prepared when the
Yep,
test was given. Who executed the best?
exactly. And that's, I
And
mean,
and
and
I
you, I
think
didn't think they did personally.
and I think their defense is decent. Like I think they held them 3 points the whole game. I think their defense is good. They got great DNs and everything. Their defense line is pretty stout
Mm-hmm.
this year, and they were last year as well. But uh, I don't know. I guess it's another team that is kind of like,
We're gonna
are
have
they
to
seven
see.
and five
Yeah, is it a
or
mirage? Are we looking behind the same curtain from last year? Have they actually gonna pop out like only in America? Like you with your hair back there?
hey.
Come on, go ahead, pop out there. That's what I feel
So
like it
and
would
then,
be.
but they I don't want to say they need to figure it out quick, but they do
Okay.
have Notre Dame coming in a couple
Yeah,
weeks. So
exactly. And Notre Dame is steamrolling. They look
Notre Dame is
good.
on a roll.
They
They're on
look
a roll,
good.
and I will say this. Well, I'll wait till we get there. I'll wait till we get there. But next I got Alabama and MTSU, Middle Tennessee State
Yeah.
University. Tom, I'll let you start that one off.
Yeah, I think they were Brian Denny. They done what they were supposed to do at the end. At first, I was a little worried, but they're very consistent. We saw 14, 14, 14, 14 all 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban seemed like he was as happy because they should have done a lot better. Middle Tennessee honestly shouldn't have even scored in Alabama. But Alabama's just like every other program right now. We have questions at the QB position, just like everybody else. They're trying to figure it out. I think the reason why they started Jalen Milroe at that position right now is because it was a game that they knew they could have some slack in just in case he messed up, right? You start him like, hold on, let's just make sure he's going to do what he's supposed to before we have to play somebody big coming around this week, as we're going to see when they go into town to meet Texas, right? Oh, Texas coming to town this coming week. So I think they look like Alabama. They said they want to run the ball, and that's what they did. They got a quarterback who can run the ball now, get behind his shoulders. I mean, that's the Alabama way here lately. We look at Tua, we look at Jalen. That's kind of Alabama way. Get you a quarterback that can move and get out of the pocket and make something shake for the rest of the team.
Yeah. Not too much to say. I mean, they
Yeah.
handle business. We know how hard it is to win, to go 1-0 on a week, let alone pitch a shutout. I think they did what they're supposed to do. I think that Jalen Monroe will be the guy for him going forward. I don't think he did anything bad. 3 touchdowns, 190 yards, 194 yards passing.
Yeah.
So, nothing bad to say on that. And next, I have USC Nevada, another blowout. Caleb
Yeah.
Williams did what he was supposed to do. 5 tutties.
He's the magician this year.
390.
How we always used to talk about not Bryce Young. He's a magician. Caleb Williams is that magician. He looks Heisman caliber again this game. And really, the last game was like, is he doing it? And then no, he's back at it again. This guy looks like he's playing backyard football. The way he's making these plays, he's looking like a money Manziel.
He looks good. 66-14, not too much to be said right there. They will get a test in coming weeks against Colorado, and I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
But next, I have Penn State and West Virginia.
Yeah, Penn State, West Virginia, 38-15. I'm not impressed by any means, but like you said, it's you want to know. You got the job done no matter what the score is. Interim out, you got it done. I'm just not as impressed as the hype was thinking they were going to be. They thought they'd come in to be able to rival Michigan and Ohio State. I think they will rival Ohio State this year, but Michigan looks like the clear forerunner in their division, to be honest.
Yeah.
In the conference.
I think Penn State is second, though.
Now? I'd give it to them. I'd give Penn State number 2, Ohio number 3.
Yeah. I think West Virginia did put up a good fight, but overall, Penn State just shut it down and did what they were supposed to and got out of there with the dub.
No,
Next,
quick
I have
plug to my
Washington.
cup. Look at that, the Vols mug right there.
Who made that cup?
I did, man. Me and Adeline, me and my baby.
Did you really?
We took some time and we made this. Yeah, we painted it together.
Hey, I
She went
kind of like
there.
that.
So we took some
I feel
time and
like you
painted it
capping
together.
though, but
No, we
okay.
did. I even got look at the bottom right there. You see what I
Did
drink?
it? So you painted it,
Yeah,
or
we
you
painted.
made the whole thing?
No, it was already made. The cup is made. We just painted it together.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that. I ain't gonna lie. For the people that is on YouTube, he has a Tennessee Skull Cup little mug, and it's pretty cool. Him and his daughter
High
made
quality
that.
H2O on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I don't drink enough.
No, it's just
Next
water,
we
man.
have,
I gotta
no,
clean
I
them
don't
vials
drink
off.
enough.
Oh, you gotta drink more
I don't.
water, man. You gotta
I
drink more
know,
water.
man. I say like some days I go 3 bottles of spring water, which is the best water for you.
Yeah.
Then the next 5 days I won't touch it. I don't drink soda, but I do drink juice. Like Powerade is my thing.
I
Like
mean, that's
Powerade.
that's not too bad. It's a good
It's
substitution.
not
But
horrible. It's not horrible. But I do gotta get better on my H2O, excuse me. So now I got Boise State, Washington, man. So
yeah, I told you boys, you didn't have a chance in this game. They looked like they tried. It's very you flash the cards to make you look like you got something good. It's a good bluff. It's a great bluff. Some people, oh man, at first they were up 6-0. It was a good bluff. And then the second quarter happened and it was a blowout. So
excuse me 1 second.
that's what I was expecting. Like we said last week, I was expecting a blowout at this point in time. Washington, we don't even know anybody from Boise at this point. 56-19. I can't tell you a single player, but I can tell you they got a cool field and it's blue. But I can't tell you a single player from Boise. I had to look into it. I might know the names. Polk, big time catch, sets up, fifth passing touchdown. Like they were on a roll. Washington's looking like a great team over in the Pac-12. I'd say they might be second best team over there. And it's I want to say that, but Oregon kind of blew out their team, but I expected that. But Washington looks very complete.
You still got USC over there, so don't forget about it. You still got Colorado over there. Don't sleep on them boys over there in the Pac-12.
Hey man, now there is a such thing as beginner's luck. So, but we'll get to that. We'll keep rolling.
We'll get to that. So Michael Penix Jr. threw for 5 tutties. He had a 91.3 QBR and 450 yards on the dot, and that's exactly what he was doing, was dotting the boys up.
Exactly.
Like to see this team down the stretch and see what they got. Next, they have Rice and
Texas. How'd you feel about
starting this bad boy off? Because horns down, okay? Horns down. Texas defense looks phenomenal. Looks great, honestly. Like top 5. Not gonna lie. Their line looks it was another team's line. I was like, man, their line looks really good. I can't even think of who it was. It kind of reminds me of Georgia. Their line kind of reminds me of Georgia. They are big up front.
They're cornbread fed for sure.
They are big. Quinn Ewers, their defense was doing what I thought they should have did. Their offense just was struggling.
Yeah.
I will say that I watched that game and I was not impressed offensively with Texas. I actually went on Instagram, right, and keep it short and simple. I seen that they were calling for Steve Sarkisian's head over in Texas already. Already. They did not like that. And I mean, like I said, and it's first week. When you start getting to like week 3, that's when you gotta be like, hey, okay, are you the dude or you not the dude? Because we're 3 weeks in. And I think their offense was struggling mightily, and I think they have weapons. That's the thing.
They got weapons.
Like a street QB that showed out in the spring, and I was just like,
yeah.
I'm a fan of Quinn Ewers. Like, I think he's a good quarterback, but the offense just was not clicking that game.
I agree 100%. Their passing attack looked great. Putting up 260. I thought they were very efficient in passing, running. Leave some room for improvement at only 158 yards, 12 of which came from your quarterback. I mean, you had 3 backs that they kind of mixed it in between that were, 55, 52, 38 yards. That's not horrible. But only 158, you got other players whose single players are putting up those kind of numbers, right? So
Right.
their rushing attack is definitely going to be an issue. Why I have Alabama winning next week, because you can't just go out there and pass. In SEC, we are ground and pound. That's how you win games, being a ground and pound. If you can't, you're not going to win against SEC school, point blank period.
Yes.
So if you're only passing, that's going to get locked down. They're going to sack you a lot. And if you can't run, you're not going to get the W. So that's why I have Texas losing against Alabama, just because of the fact their rushing game just isn't there yet, right? It leaves some room for improvement. So,
and I don't want to get too big on next week, week 2, just yet. But I will probably, if you ask me before the season started, before the season opener, I would say Texas would beat Bama. But after watching that game, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I think Bama would probably win that game if I had to put money on it, and I probably will put money on it. But on to the next. We got Tennessee State, Notre Dame. Really not much being said. 56-3. I think Notre Dame, like we said earlier, steamrolling, and we just got to wait and see down the stretch when they hit, USC and Clemson and everybody. So let's see. Actually,
I want to talk about this next game. Just the fact of how egregious the score was. This Oregon versus Portland State. I mean, it's an in-state kind of game. Portland versus Oregon. Eugene's not too far from each other. 81-7. That is that's a whooping. That's you took him outside. He stole something for you. You got the paddle to the rear. That's what that was, man. It's almost disrespectful.
It is, and like I said, disrespectful. I would have bet money when it was 70. When it was high 60s, going into 70s, I would have bet money that they didn't score 80, just because nobody wants to be disrespected like that. And and I'll say this, like I have a soft part, but I'm also like,
it's
don't
football.
be soft. You know what I mean?
It's football.
It's football. At the end of the day, like you work hard all summer, and you don't have to take the money to play these schools. At the end of the day, so it is an option. It is a choice.
You chose to do this to get a betterment for your program, so it's like you opted in to the spanking. You had a chance to opt out, you opt in. So you get what you get.
I mean, yeah, and like I said, you work hard all fall, all spring, and you show up and you get hammered 81-7.
It's a teaching moment.
I have no problem with the score, personally.
It's a teaching moment.
I have no problem with it. Yeah, and I mean, of course, they're gonna be the best team that you face on that schedule. It is what it is at the end of the day. 81-7. Bo Nix throws for 287 yards, 3 tutties, and a running back,
which is crazy. You only threw for 200 and some odd at an 81-point win. That is.
I mean, he probably got pulled out.
I'm sure he did, but still should be putting up Shedeur Sanders numbers out there. I'm just saying, but we will get to that because we got a conversation for that one.
I did say that Tennessee's running back, was doing good with the 12 carries and the 115 yards on the ground.
Well, we gonna talk
which is
about
great. Don't
Oregon.
Get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but the 4 carries, 119 yards,
4
2
carries,
tutties.
119, 2 tutties, 56.
Man.
That's NCAA 14 numbers. It's not real. You averaging 25 yards a carry.
29.8 yards exactly a carry. Like, anyway, on to the next. We steamrolling here. We got Kansas State and Southeast. Who is that?
Southeast Mississippi.
Is it
Missouri?
Missouri.
Southeast
Missouri State.
That's a little border town game.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that to really be Missouri State, Southeast Missouri State, the Red Hawks. Not mistaken, I think.
Yeah,
Red Hawks.
And played in Kansas, and 45-0. Not much really.
We didn't expect
I think Kansas State is a good school, and Oklahoma will have to face them. Oh, actually, they might not play Oklahoma.
That'd be weird. I mean, they played before they played last year.
They don't this year. They don't face. We don't play Baylor or Kansas State this year because of BYU and Cincinnati hit.
Okay,
Big 12.
yeah, I forgot they did
on that one. Yeah. So next we have
Colorado and TCU. What did we tell y'all last week? You heard it here first. We said it's going to happen. I said it's going to be a lot closer to something y'all think. And don't be surprised if Colorado pull one out. Nobody seen what they were bringing to the table. Everybody were questioning it. Hey, he's coming from HBCU. I told you the talent is there. Guess what? At HBCU, there's 3 things you can't really question, right? The quarterbacks, the receivers, and the DBs. The speed transfers over, right? That talent transfers over from one level to the next. And we saw it with Shador, Sanders, Travis Hunter. Jeez, man, these guys look great out there. They looked great out there.
I mean,
Imani Bailey, 164 yards. Man.
I mean, you heard it. You've heard it everywhere. I think that Colorado is a good school. I think they will be more than what people give them credit for as far as their schedule. Like I said, it's tough to go both ways and play, over 120 snaps on offense and defense combined for Travis Hunter. But I mean, the kid is good. Like, you can't deny the kid is good. But we'll see. We'll see how that longevity pulls up towards the end. Like I said, they got Oregon first, excuse me, then they got USC after that. So 2 back-to-back weeks. So we'll see. That'll probably be the hardest 2 weeks of their schedule. But still, they still have some football to be played after that. So we'll see how that holds up, and we'll really learn a lot more about Colorado in that span of 2 weeks.
You're right. We will 100% see, but I'm giving him his flowers this week, man. He came over, and nobody else has done this as a first-year starter coming to a new school like this. 510 yards on your first game and 4 tutties. Clutch passing, great passing. They were putting it where the ball needed to be. They controlled the game right there. They were going blow from blow. The game of attrition, and guess what? TCU, you just couldn't get it done at the end of the day. I'm proud of Dion coming in. I mean, he's prime time. What else would we expect, right? So exactly. If he ain't Pac, who's Pac? I mean, he is Pac-12 now, the high scoring offenses. That's what we want to see. So I love it, and he's already he's on track to do better than Colorado was before. So at the end of the day, it's not a failure. If he puts up 2 wins, he's better than the last season. He's better than the last guy. So when we were all questioning 87 some odd people transferring in, and now recruits 21 new freshmen, like, he's crazy. No, he wasn't. He had a plan. He stuck to it, and he executed.
That's very true. Next, we got just a quick brief. We got Wisconsin Buffalo 38-17. Wisconsin handled business.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I got to say on Wisconsin. Then next, of course, we had to see who controls the Carolina.
Man, I will admit I was wrong again for the second time. I was wrong.
I did call for South Carolina.
I fell for it. They got me. It was a good bluff. It was a great bluff. It was a great bluff. They got me.
Drake May did things.
He did.
He did struggle a little bit in the first half. Spencer Rattler line.
Spencer Rattler looks like the Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma again. He's gonna come in waves.
He did throw for over 300 yards. 353 yards.
You can throw for 1,000, but if you can't get the ball to the end zone, is.
I get where you're coming from on that. Like,
he has zero touchdowns. That's not good.
I will say this: at the end of the day, you throw for 300 yards. That's a good game on a quarterback, even if it's no touchdown. I think that's a good game. But his line,
his line is awful. But you would think at throwing 300 yards, you would think on the opposite. Okay, he threw for 300, no passing. He must have had some rushing touchdowns, right? His line's awful. He must have been getting out of the pocket and moving, but he had negative 22 rushing yards. He was that line is awful. It's barn doors open. That's what it is.
Man.
I don't know what's going on with him, but I love it because they are coming to Neyland. Y'all gonna have to see us. I'm keeping receipts. What Dion said. I've been keeping receipts from last year, and every South Carolina fan I heard out there, it was cash money. Oh, you rumble Rocky Top, y'all. Nah, you gotta see us now. Don't run from it.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. But North Carolina took this one 31-17.
Yeah.
Next we have another 73-pointer. We got Ole Miss and Mercer.
Yeah, Ole Miss got
Jackson
done.
Dart did his thing. Yeah. I was very surprised that Jackson Dart was the I won't say very surprised, but I was surprised that Jackson Dart took the reins over buddy from Oklahoma State. I know his name and I literally froze up. But I figured he would being a 5th-year starter. But not too much to be said,
Spencer Sanders?
Spencer Sanders. Thank you. Yeah. did great things at Oklahoma State. He really did. He's not a bad quarterback. But they had no business 73-7.
Yeah.
Next we got oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to comment on that?
No, I mean it's pretty cut and dry. I said last week, Mercer's
Yeah.
a great school, medically, but you're not a football school. We weren't expecting you to be great. We expecting you to come in, get your money out of it, build your program up, go back to your division, and dominate there. I hope you have a great season.
Next here we got Texas A&M, New Mexico.
The Lobos.
Not too much to be said about this game in particular, but it is. I guess you could question Texas A&M. You know, they brought in the #1 recruiting class last year and shattered, or I ain't gonna say shattered, but you know, record-breaking class. And I just like to see if they can put that on the field. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Does it translate?
They can execute
Does it translate? That.
Yeah, and like we said before, you know, 3-star can be better than a walk-on.
I mean, the NFL is full of 3 and 4 stars at the end of the day.
So,
right?
Hey, JUCOs can be better than, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So, and you have players that try out for the NFL. So it don't always translate. It's good, you know. It's never going to be hurtful to get those 5 stars unless, you know, it's an attitude problem. But, you know, Texas A&M, I just like to see what they do. I think they had a chance to beat Bama last year, and they kind of fluffed it a little bit.
A lot of people do when it's time to beat Bama. A lot of people have the chance to beat it. It's just Nick Saban's intimidating. You looking across that line, he's over there, not smiling. It's hold on.
He has Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo, but Jimbo, they who else is down there with Jimbo? They got another coach down there. Don't forget about it. So that offensive coordinator is gonna get it done, and Bobby P. Right. Yeah. So that's why he brought him in for that reason. You got 2 great coaches going back to back, and I think at first I said Auburn was my team to look out for, which I'm still not wrong. Auburn handled business with their win, but Texas A&M at the West, y'all gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, gotta be careful against Texas A&M. They can very well put something together. I still feel like, you know, they got all those recruits and missed on the quarterback. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but the great quarterbacks already taken. Their pockets must not have been deep enough, I guess.
Hey, who knows? That oil rig wasn't oiling. So we got A&M 52, New Mexico 10. Next on the list we got Tulane and South Alabama 37-17. I don't think it's too much to say on them. They do have Tulane. Does have Ole Miss next week. I think that will be a little more telltale because a lot of people
I think Tulane's going to get destroyed that game. South Alabama put up 17. South Alabama's not a big school right now. I think they're FCS. They're like a UT Martin level, and they were still able to put up 17 on you. You got 37 points. I wouldn't put any money towards Tulane, especially not this point in the year. I think they will lose next week.
They only have Ole Miss as a 7.0 favorite.
If I was a betting man, and I'd definitely take Ole Miss winning by way more than 7.
I think I am gonna take Ole Miss covering the spread on this game.
Then some.
I just don't think that they got enough for Ole Miss right now. I think
not yet.
Ole Miss is in a good situation offensively. Just waiting to see when they play somebody a little more proven. Tulane very well could win this game. They well could.
Tulane, if y'all want to come back to the SEC, we'd love to have you back. It's a long time. It's been a long time. Yeah, I'd love you like Vandy. I take my free wins.
We'll get to that when the time comes.
Yep.
But next I have here on my list, I got Iowa, Utah State.
I thought we were going the other way. I was like,
no, it's coming because I just want to breeze past through them. I gotta show love to them real quick. But next, I got LSU, Florida State.
Man,
so I
am upset. But go ahead.
I will say this: I definitely had LSU as the team to watch out for. How you have Auburn, I had LSU. Just because I think they started getting the ball rolling last year towards the end of their schedule, and I felt like that would transition over to here.
They started off with a loss last year, and this part of the year, not that it doesn't matter, but the committee. If I was the chair committee, I'm looking at my paper and I'll say, okay, we're looking at teams at the end of the year. LSU had a loss at the very beginning to a AP ranked team, top 10 ranked team. You got a loss at the very beginning, and then you clean the board after that. That
They
loss
they
doesn't really
very
mean much.
yeah they and I still have them, and that's
Yeah,
what I was gonna say. I still have them making some shake over in the West.
yeah.
Uh I will say this about LSU.
hmm
Um, LSU looked like the competitive depth that Oklahoma was facing last year in the fourth quarter
Okay.
was an issue. It looked like they were just trying to play what they had, who
hmm
they could depend on, and they were exhausted to me. And I was watching the game thoroughly. I watched,
Yeah.
and it just looked fourth quarter came, and they were.
By
I
that
see the
point, they were
linemen
gassed.
bending
Yeah.
over, yeah, hands on the
21
hip,
points
like,
in the fourth. You maintained the rest of the game, but 21 in the fourth.
and they wasn't subbing
Yeah.
a whole lot. They wasn't subbing a whole lot on the line, and when you don't do that, it's kind of tough to kind of just maintain that competitive
Yeah.
uh atmosphere right there, especially from the beginning to the end. Like you
I
got to have some play. I don't know who they have exactly,
mhm.
but I will say that it just looked like they were a little gassed right
I mean, they had an issue the whole time. If we really look at it, Jordan Travis was out there dotting them.
there.
They couldn't stop the one-on-one matchups, right? They threw the ball up and they were getting sunned every time. So I think that was the issue that they're facing. It's not having their DBs just aren't physical enough, and
Mm-hmm.
that's sad to say when you're playing against an ACC team that you have issues of physicality at that level. In ACC, there's no knocking them, but Keon Coleman of Florida State was just a man amongst boys out there. He wasn't as good on the uncontested, but the moment you put somebody in his bubble, it was over with. Like
Oh, I'm
that
talking
ball, the
about
hands were sticky. Like you,
boy, that boy hands was strong. He been playing in Rice.
I'm
I'm
telling
telling
you.
you, wow, that he go up.
Yeah,
It's like,
it was
man, I'm
in his
telling you.
hands,
So
and that was that. At that point in time, they couldn't do anything
yeah,
with it. So to close out with it, LSU were severely outmatched right there at the end. It was a game of attrition, and when it got to the end, Florida State opened the floodgates on 21 in the fourth
mm-hmm.
quarter. You can't let that happen if you want to win.
Yeah,
The game. The score was not indicative of how bad the beating really was.
yeah, because they
LSU
did
got a
score
late
that
score.
little
They got
touchdown.
17. It should have been
Mm-hmm.
17-45 right there.
Yeah,
They did
so
not look
like
good.
I said, LSU can bounce back, but next here I got I believe this is my final one. I got
That's the
Oregon
final
State versus San Jose
42-17.
State.
Yeah, not much to say to it. They went out there and handled business. San Jose is not anybody special.
Yeah, I'll add a comment on that saying San Jose State played USC last week, and I
Mm-hmm,
feel like Oregon State may not be better than USC, but I
mm-hmm.
feel like they handled them better than USC.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So DJ Ugalagale,
Uyungale.
Ugalagale, Clemson's former QB, 3 tutties. He looked good out there. He looked decent. I wasn't a fan of him at Clemson, but
Mhm.
we'll see.
I mean, he lost that
Redemption
starting spot
season
for a
season.
reason. But he went out there and
I
handled
mean,
business. 20 for 25, 239, 80% completion rate. DJ
yep.
Ungulule, he did what he needed to do.
And
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching him.
that's very true, very true. And right now, I think we got Clemson as we're recording this right
Yeah,
now.
as we speak, it
Monday
is 7
we have
to 6. Right now,
yeah,
Clemson's up.
yeah.
13 minutes left. And
Mm-hmm.
just to get my thoughts in on this current game, Clemson should be getting blown out. Well, not blown out. They should be losing by a little bit more. Duke had a mistake right there on the point. Guy with the catch it, it bounced out of his hands.
Clemson should be getting blown out,
Yeah,
or it should be
Clemson.
losing by more,
Clemson
or
is
should be
not.
losing.
Yeah, that should be. You're right. I think Duke is probably going to score again soon. And as I speak, touchdown.
I can't ever
is
listen,
up
y'all.
again.
I cannot watch nothing with Tom because I'm like 17 plays behind. I don't know what kind of cable he got over there, but I need to sign up for his internet service or
I
something.
see the future. I need to go ahead and put a bet on what's going to happen next because I'm saying the future. That's what it really
I'm
is.
confused. I'm literally they're just now hiking the ball right, and a great run by the QB.
Yeah, that's a great run by QB.
I will say Clemson got to figure it out, and I almost bet that Duke covers the spread, but I didn't know nothing
I
about this
think we
game.
lost Cody right there. He's breaking up. Clemson does look good. I think we lost you right there a little bit.
A little bit. We're good.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. We got you.
Okay. All right. My bad. Yeah. I thought Clemson. I thought Duke would cover the spread, but I wasn't completely sure on that. So Yeah, but that was a great segment. That's it for us. We will
That's
be
it. We kept
back.
it short and sweet. People were saying it's really, really long last time. It's an hour and 10 minutes. Guess what? Short, sweet, to the point. That's what we got.
To
And
the
we
point.
prepared.
We just had to cover the bases, but we had to put in an intro. We had to cover fall camp. We had to cover recruits. We had to cover a lot of stuff that we didn't know about and what was excited to see. It's the first week of the season, so
Mm-hmm.
you know. But yeah, man. If you like the video, please like the video. We will
Like,
be going
comment,
to
subscribe,
Spotify
tell your friends,
soon.
tell your mama, tell your
Yeah,
cousin, tell everybody. You see a guy walking down the street, but hey, is that a sport? I got a podcast for you. It is great information. We're not just covering the SEC. I mean, that is our point of focus. But we'll talk about everybody. We get those opinions out there, and it's good, unadulterated talent that we want to talk about it. We want to get it out there, and we're a family podcast. We're not out there talking crazy outside of our neck like you some of these guys. We keep it G-rated for the young cats who really want to enjoy and love sports also.
very true, very true. And we're gonna be ourselves, man. You'll see us opening up more. This is only our second time recording together, so we're getting used to it. We have a lot of kinks to get out the way still. We got some equipment to get, but we'll be better for y'all in the future. We promise.
We only go up. I mean, it's only one direction. It's up from here, man.
Go up. And we just want to say thank you for the love and support. And that's all I have to say. We are out.
Peace out, bros with Mike fam.